In this video we're going to take a look at the options for the toolbars. So the primary toolbar has this options button, which is the application options. You have the options tab, a little bit about the application where you can check your version number here, your license and third-party licenses. On the options side, where do you want to save your files? You can choose the default. And then that's where it will always save the files when you save them. If you want to show recently saved files, by default that's checked to yes. That means when you click on this button here, it will show any recently saved files. You have options for whether you want to scale the page printing or not. By default it's set to scale pages to fit to the paper size. Your snapshots are set to high quality. This will also run in multi-desktop environments, so if you have an extended desktop, you can drag your application over to your extended desktop, and then when you click on one of these page buttons, it'll automatically open on whichever desktop the application is resting on. So go ahead and click cancel, and then the other options button is available once you go into one of the page modes. So we'll go into whiteboard page mode, and here we've got two sets of options. One, a set of options for the presenter tools and a set of options for the annotation tools. For presenter tools, you can change the spotlight, the magnifying glass, the mask, and the laser. So for the spotlight tool, you can have either a circle or a square. So I'll go grab the spotlight tool. You see right now it's set up to a square. If I go back here though and change it to a circle, reduce the size a little bit, and I'll change the opacity of the background. Now I click on the spotlight tool and you'll see it's made those changes. You can also change the magnifying glass options. They have the same controls. You can change the mask. This will change what color the mask is and where the default position is. By default, it's at the top of the screen. So I'll change this to this color. Click OK. Now when I click on the mask tool, you'll see it's that blue. If I want to change the default position to the bottom, I can do that. And now when I click on the mask tool, it'll start at the bottom. And there's the laser pointer tool, which you can just select the color and the size of the pointer. Next are the annotation tools options. Here you can change the color, size, and opacity of the pen and the highlighter. So I've got my pen tool selected. Right now, if I go here, I can change the default to make it a lot thicker. And maybe I want the default color to be black instead of blue. And now you can see when I draw, it's a lot bigger. And it's black. I can change the highlighter colors, size and opacity, and then the same for the font. You have the option to change color, the default font size, and the default font. So when you go here and you enter text, by default it's going to be Roboto size 14, but I can go in here and I can change that. So you know what, I want my default font to be a lot bigger, and I want it to be bold, and I want to use my favorite fun font, whatever that may be. So we'll go pick something that looks more interesting. Pick this big font. Now when I click a text box and I type text, it's going to be in that default font. And finally, there's an options here where I can be prompted to save when I exit. And again, here I can change where I want the default to be, default location for saving. And my printing options, so I want to fit to page or print to actual size. And those are your options.